Yeah.
You guys got
fun watching everybody pour in the door.
Y'all got a gag going, a trick going, a gaggle gag.
Yeah, we should drop links and stuff in the chat. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna do that while.
Hey, don't touch the mute button.
That's a great idea. Dropping links. What kind of links would we want to drop?
Dropping them links.
Our projects, right? My Camp Suzuki project.
Is that you and Daddy?
I'm still waiting to hear about the prawn that John has with his mic.
Oh,
Mike,
blue prawn. That's what Candace wants me to grow this year.
Where'd it go? Me? No prawns. I'm okay. I'm good to go.
Your prawns are handled.
Computer. Are we live? Are we going?
We're live.
Hey, we're live. We just decided to go live with the
that was the joke we were talking about. So like, just go live and keep bullshitting and don't even talk to people and don't tell John. Other John.
The other John.
Everything's
John. We got two Johns on here.
This John.
Technically, there's three.
Oh, that's true.
Technically, there are
mix
three.
Up the Johns.
I'm a John.
John's baby's name is John.
No, this is Alex.
Oh, what's up, Alex?
Hey, Alex.
Alex.
I'm feeling your pain, Alex. I'm feeling your pain.
We purposely didn't pick any family names.
Nice.
John is my slave name.
So how much debt is Alex in already?
Yeah, somehow you can call yourself Jack on Facebook, but I can't be Nicole Sauce on Facebook.
Whatever.
Jack on and Jack off.
I've been Jack forever, though. They don't even know that I'm John, except when they send me my AdSense check.
Right.
I didn't know that.
All right, guys. Well, let's start the show. You wanna?
Okay.
Yeah.
Honk.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Okay,
Let's all go to the lobby. Oh, wait, that's the break in the middle. Welcome to Unloose the Goose, the final episode. The final episode. We are joined today by John Bush, John Dowie, John Spirko, and Brian Norton.
Alex Dowie.
And we don't know who else will pop in. Jack prefers to be called Jack, though. And
yeah, that's my slave name, yo. Does anybody know where that's from? I keep trying to tell y'all that's my slave name. Malibu's Most Wanted.
Oh yeah. What about?
Are we supposed to do a Malibu's Most Wanted showing at your house at some point?
We're supposed to do a watch party or something. Yeah, like a stupid.
How about?
Oh my God. Is that your kind of humor, Jack? I could see that. I could totally see it.
We should do that like for the next workshop, like the day before it starts, like just for the cool people to get to be here early.
Yeah.
And so we can not John Dowie.
Burn.
No riffraff.
Whatever.
Well, guys, we've been doing this for 2 years.
Wow.
We've been talking about agorism. I thought what would be fun to start out with is, what kind of insights has this given to you about agorism, this show?
Who, me?
Anybody.
We'll start with the new
I don't know. My internet just totally blanked out.
Who, me?
Go.
Take it away, Dowie.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on right now. So don't start with me.
Okay.
Agorism.
We're gonna start with Brian.
Brian's always got something to say.
I thought this was a podcast about poultry.
No, you know what? Once you realize it's the only way to disengage from the state, it's a separate parallel system. That's all. It's all. How many ways can you say that? Just go do your stuff. Nobody shows up to stop you. If you're not playing in their game, they rarely bother you. The only person holding you back is yourself, for real. So, yeah, and that's there's lots of different ways, right? But everybody's got to find their own way, and it's hard to other than just doing it and being a motivation. It's there's only so many things you can talk about once you get the core concept of you own your labor. Don't ask permission, go do it.
I agree with that. I think a lot of what I've taken away from it, there's a lot of people asking for permission to be an agorist. Sometimes it feels like they're asking us and we're like, just do it. You know what I mean? Well, how do you do this? Well, I would go do it and then I would adjust. Like that's how the market works. And I think Brian's right. Like what people will hear is him say, well, no one's going to stop you. And then they'll say, well, I saw this, thing on the internet about this guy that was growing pigs, and the SWAT team came out and took his pigs or whatever. And stuff like that happens. But, people walk out of their door in an apartment building and have somebody drop something on their head from the roof and kill them too. Like, these are incredible. The fact that you even hear about it in the news means it's incredibly rare. If it happened every day, you wouldn't hear about it in the news. And most of the time, not all the time, and I'm not saying they deserve it or anything, but most of the time, those people have made a big production of what they're doing, right? I'm doing this and you can't stop me. Well, then they're going to come. But most of the stuff at the level we're talking about, if you're doing it, I mean, Nicole could probably have goats cooking moonshine on the roof of her house and no one's coming.
100% they do it on the roof of the house and nowhere else.
Trans goats.
Hey, Neethi just popped in.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
What shit?
Well, I started thinking about this because we've been talking on and off if it's time to shut down the show or not. And I was like, how many ways can we say or talk about just go do something? Just go make relationships with people and trade with them. Just start doing it and live your life on your terms. And I know that word just is like, oh, but I have all these things. But at the same time, when you start, you learn as you go, right? It doesn't mean it's easy to take those steps, but if you never take those steps, then there's nothing. And then somebody be like, well, what about this societal problem? What's the solution? Agorism. What about this societal problem? What's the solution? And I'm like, how many times can we have a show where we say, well, I know what we could do. Here's a crazy idea. You could use cryptocurrencies and learn how to do that and put that as a foundation and work in a counter economic way and just get started so that you take your freedom. Because if you don't take your freedom, nobody's going to give it to you.
But what if they shut down my Coinbase account?
Agorism
in Canada.
Jack's like, get rid of it. And I'm
Like they did to the Russians.
Aha, nice.
yeah.
The Russian Coinbase accounts.
Well, you guys, I think what everybody's saying is that words don't teach. Life experience teaches. If you can read about stuff, you can listen to everybody and all this stuff, but until you dive in the pool, then you don't know what the water feels like.
Yeah. I think the nice thing is we have actually had a lot of people do things. We've had entire projects launched off of the community here. Mm-hmm. And I also kind of look at like it is probably time for us to sign off as this group, because when I put this together and asked the original group to come on and start doing this, I kind of marketed it like a podcast super group, right? Like since I'm old and I was around in the 80s, like, Ted Nugent and got the guys together and did Damn Yankees or something like that. Well, a group like that doesn't like stay together for 2 decades or whatever. You get together, you jam, you do some stuff, and then you go back and everybody makes their own music. And I think this group is all like doers, right? We're not all like some people that like, hey, I got this idea. We should do a podcast once a week about space aliens or some shit, Like this was like, we just wanted to communicate, hey, it's actually okay to go out and get you done.
Yeah.
So when you added me, it was like when Kiss added Tommy Thayer.
Or maybe, I don't know.
No, that's like too obscure of a reference, but you were a super group, and then here I am.
I think one of the biggest things I've seen just from doing this show and my show and just interacting with our community, broader freedom community, is like you guys brought up. I think really the most important thing is for folks to get through their personal blocks. And for some damn reason, there's a tendency often for whenever you share an idea, especially a big idea like cryptocurrency is a great example, people's first inclination is to come up with ways that it can't work or that it could fail or the internet shut down or they'll confiscate it or it can be hacked, blah, 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 blah. Same thing with purchasing land. They said we can't own land, the property tax, they're going to take property. You can't collect rainwater in this obscure Colorado town. And I just really want to encourage people through mindfulness and meditation, which is practicing for mindfulness. But if you can develop that consciousness, you can reprogram yourself to a point where instead of thinking of ways that it won't work, you think of ways that it can work, and you kind of catch yourself. I think people they get in their way. They're their own worst enemy in this regard. And like I was saying, just do it, just try it. Most of the stuff, 99% of the stuff we talk about is completely legal. It's hardly even agorism. It's just doing stuff and growing food and trading amongst one another. And even the stuff that is gray market or illegal or unapproved, or you're not filing for this or that, it's all slap on the wrist kind of stuff. And so when you look at what it is that we're facing, sometimes you got to put even the tiniest little slither of skin in the game. But for the most part, just get out of your own way is the advice that I would give, and try to stop thinking of reasons that it won't work, because it does work, and it's working for us, and it's working for all sorts of people.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw something. Good.
Okay, I was going to say, before everybody logged into this chat, there was a chat from earlier this afternoon it was Margaret. No, it wasn't Margaret. It was Juanis Burt, who said,
What are you doing?
yeah, I know. Ha ha. He said, I really appreciate everything that Unloose the Goose has done for me, because you were there for us, talking about truth and giving us courage through a really bad time. Because we started in 2020. I looked back and it was 2020. I remember working in the yard, and Jack is talking on this. I'm listening to this podcast. He's talking about this podcast super group he's going to put together. I'm like, damn, that sounds badass. And I come into my office and look at my email. And he's like, hey, Nicole, you want to join? And I was like, I got invited to Unloose the Goose. And then we started doing this, and it was right as all the shutdowns happened. And, navigating through, seeing through the bullshit on that was really hard at first, because there was this, like, you could tell it was bullshit, but people were getting sick, right? And so there was kind of this push and pull of that. And I think that was true for a lot of people, that it gave them courage to stand up. And what I'm hoping we'll see move forward, because I want to talk about all of the cool things that have come out of this podcast, of people who are just standing on their own 2 feet and moving forward, and other podcast super groups that have come out of it. There has been so much spinning off from this. It's amazing just to watch that spread.
You want to go? Yeah.
Fireside
Freedom.
Fireside Freedom.
Lots project.
Lots.
Right.
Soon to be the after party.
Soon to be
the after party.
I don't know what it's after now, but we're gonna...
You might just be the party now.
Yeah, there we go. You know what? So you can only talk about like the agorist thing so much, right? To ourselves, but we can talk about it to groups that aren't ourselves a lot. So off I go. Concert tours this year. Ba-bum-bum.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go spread crypto everywhere. I got it at the fish show last fall. I wouldn't buy a shirt from somebody if they wouldn't sell it to me for crypto. I didn't care what. So yeah. I'm gonna go make an impact in other communities, and just, we gotta stop talking to ourselves all the time. Just get out there.
Attaboy.
Great.
Yeah.
Go.
Where you going, buddy?
Crypto, all the things.
Yeah, crypto, whatever, but just think differently.
I started spending crypto more because I spent crypto way early on, back when it was super cheap, and then I beat myself up for it. But then I had my own mindset shift, and I was like, well, there's still plenty of crypto, even though it's more expensive. I just need to work harder to make more money so I can get more crypto. And then there's people that ask me to pay in crypto, Bitcoin specifically, like my hosting. And I'm like, I don't know. Are you sure you can't take PayPal, or can I send you a check? But I came up with a new system for my business. Now I'm buying stable coins from somebody privately that accepts only crypto for the most part. They live off of crypto. So I'm buying stable coins pegged to the US dollar, holding the stable coins in my business. And then when the time comes to pay somebody, I can instantly convert it to Bitcoin, for example, and pay. So I'm not just buying Bitcoin and losing 20 or 30%, which you can do if you're privately investing, but it's not good for business. And it gives me the ability to pay people in crypto and avoid the price fluctuations.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do what we can here
That's
and there.
funny. Every time somebody asks me to pay in Bitcoin, I do the exact same thing. I'm like, this is not getting me to the left of the decimal point, as my friend John Bush would say.
Yeah.
But you can buy Bitcoin and transfer it that same day. So it's
buy it on the spot.
Well, did everybody see Jack Muller's thing from Bitcoin Miami? That was just badass. Like he went in and bought a can of Coke using Bitcoin Lightning across Tor with open payment system, so that the person on the other end gets dollars and he's spending Bitcoin off Lightning, and it's totally anonymous because it's going onion routing through the Lightning network, but it's also on the backside. It's on Tor.
Wow.
And
what is it? Is it Square that he was doing it through?
No, I mean, I don't know if he did it through Strike. Strike's his company, but I don't know if it was just a straight up like Lightning wallet. It doesn't really matter what your Lightning wallet is. If you're doing that, you're doing that. But yeah, this new open payment system, basically you go in and you scan a QR code and you pay people. And if they want dollars, they get basically stable coins. If they want Bitcoin, they get Bitcoin, across Lightning. And then I wanted to tell everybody, since this is our last time getting together, that's using Exodus. And somebody's gonna be like, Jack, it's been there for like 2 years. I didn't see it. You can use Lightning with Exodus. Exodus has a Lightning wallet where you can transfer a small amount of your Bitcoin into Lightning, and that way you can use the Lightning network using the Exodus wallet.
I didn't know that.
But I don't think you can do it on the desktop. I think it's only the mobile that does it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm finally going to have to stop resisting Lightning because I don't like how all that came
There
about.
you go.
There's all these
Yay.
Bitcoin conspiracies about it, but it sounds like it's actually got some utility nowadays.
Lightning to Bitcoin ratio is pretty good right now.
For transactions?
No, per like Monero to I published that index, right? Everything against Bitcoin. Monero's getting stronger right now, right? So not a good time to buy it. Lightning is getting weaker against Bitcoin at the moment. ATM.
Lightning, not Litecoin.
Oh,
Lightning.
LTP. Oh,
Lightning Network.
Oh, yeah, I was
like, wait a second.
Lightning is Bitcoin.
Did I
Lightning
miss
is Bitcoin.
something?
No, sorry. Scratch that.
Not Litecoin.
LTC.
Lightning. Lightning is just a network to spend Bitcoin on. And it makes it incredibly fast, very anonymous, and super cheap. So you can send $1 for like a penny. And it's instantaneous settlement.
Yep.
My
Well, I can
concern-
tell you, like, the thing I love the most about this podcast has been getting to know everybody on this podcast a lot better.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
You know, I'm pretty sure John Bush would not have invited me to speak at Exit and Build had we not had this podcast. Is that true?
I fell in love with you, Nicole. What can I say?
We fell in love on this podcast.
Romance among the group.
Somebody
It's
gave
really
a sad
true.
honk. So that's like honk, honk.
And the Telegram group is gigantic, and that'll go on forever, probably. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, we got to keep the group alive for sure.
I really love all the friends we've made.
Yeah.
Out there, it's really cool to meet people, and they're like, "I saw you on Unloose the Goose."
Yeah.
I mean, Jack, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, totally.
I
Give it up
mean,
for Jack. Honk, honk, honk. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Happy honk at Jack. Honk, honk.
When
mean,
Curtis
I
started out
found
with challenge, I forgot how the very first episode went. Yeah, give us the quick history of the.
I started it, but Curtis inspired it. He sent out this video challenge to answer like these 5 areas in society, like medical and food and healthcare and financial, and how screwed up it was. And he sent it to me and some other influencers and wanted us all to reply. And I was one of the people to reply to it. And I was like, why don't we get people like this together and actually talk about this stuff? And then, I invited him and some of y'all, and then some of y'all came in later and some other folks. And then he showed up for like the first 4 and then ran away. But
There was just never a good time of day.
No.
it's really hard. I mean, I think all of us who have been coming, we've really made a lot of sacrifices and effort to be here. And it is, I mean, all of the parallel, streams that we have going on, talking about it and sharing it. I kind of feel like we have talked it all out as much as we can for the ones of us who have been coming, right? Like, I'm glad it's going to be living on the internet world.
One thing we could have hashed out more though is that the Flexner Report. We could have gone way more in depth on
I
that.
can still keep talking about it. I'm still talking about it all the time. And
Hey,
it's,
Levy, you should make.
Who has one
a
printed out? They need to
recording
hold
of
it
that.
up.
You should do an audio book of it. If
I
there
mean,
isn't one.
That'd be
so
the
really, you
driest
know, like
thing.
everything that's going on right now, that everybody, anything that anybody's doubting, still, you know, it all stems back to that. That's when it all started.
Snake venom in the vaccine. Ooh, the snake
Well,
venom.
you know, it's
You guys heard that
interesting
one?
watching actual supply chain
Not yet.
problems hit now.
Yeah.
Remember when we thought we had them in 2020 and now they're way worse?
Oh yeah.
That's my board.
And the
8% inflation.
freak out factor is like it's the factor's up. It's like ree. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting tons of emails just about how to produce my own food and all of these things, and people who want to ramp that up in the next 60 days.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
Figure out how to make more money.
yeah.
Right.
Better relationships. Because even my advice would not change right now, today, if tomorrow there's going to be zero food at all.
Yeah.
For somebody who's just bought their first piece of land and is moving there tomorrow, with that in mind versus 10 years ago. It's, you know, you need to spend some time getting to know your land. You need to look at it. If you want to start with something, start with this time of year, you can start with your garden, maybe some poultry or something. Like, keep it simple,
Small.
focus close in, and don't like try to get 20 head of cattle and a sheep flock and some pigs and some guineas and some chickens and some rabbits and try to do that all at once, having never done. You're just going to kill a lot of animals.
You're gonna blow it.
Yeah.
It's never too late to start. Bobby Jones, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's never too late
Never
to start.
too late. Well,
But you
got
won't
to
get
start
until you learn.
here or not, you know.
So don't have false
I
expectations.
say on a panel of people who have
Don't
a tendency to overcommit and try to do too much at one time.
don't
Yeah.
start out of fear, guys. That's what I'm going to say.
Right.
Like, you know, start with your heart. Like if you want to feel that freedom, then start with your heart, but don't do it out of the fear of, you know, what you think you're going to be lacking. Don't do that, because you are going to be sad when you do it that way, and it's a lot harder. And if you do it from your heart, it'll be easy, because it should be easy. I mean, meaning like you're going to do the things that you need to do based on the next logical step, instead of, you know, tripping over things. Like anytime you rush, you're going to crash. So don't rush it.
Yeah, I just recently got an email that somebody's like, I only live like 90 minutes from you on, you know, this side of the airport, and I just bought my property, and I don't have a second to lose. I want to design my permaculture property now, and I sent this a referral to Nick Ferguson.
Yeah, you
I want to hear that story when he gets
I'm
up.
like, I will do now with permaculture. Like, I don't have a second to lose. It's like, wow. You're going to be disappointed. Trees take time to grow and stuff, you know.
One of the
Yeah.
one of the most permaculture permaculture people that I know, I had a
Permaculture.
conversation with him this morning.
Yes.
He leveraged himself into some crypto trades and lost enough money to hurt bad.
Yeah.
We had a discussion about how you have to break permaculture principles to hurt yourself. Had he not leveraged for quicker growth, right, would not have hurt himself to that level that he is now out of it, right, or whatever, scarred. So permaculture will save your life in all aspects.
Well,
But,
save your money at least in that aspect. Like, that's what people are like, well, how do I leverage this? Don't.
well, try
Yeah.
and get more
Buy it and
growth out of the
stack.
system, then it's, you know,
Yeah.
like limits to growth and consumption are real.
Yeah.
So
I
let's
did that
talk
whole
about-
thing just recently, as far as keeping it simple and starting with what's close. And I was inspired by listening to your speech from Anarchapulco, Jack, where you're talking about
Oh, thank
everyone has
you.
all these ambitious plans and do this big, but the first thing to do is walk out the back door, and
First
right
square
there, right, that square foot is where you start. So
Yeah.
at one point we had this ambitious plans, and I laid out the big tarp to do the desolarization, to kill the grass. We had this huge plot. And then we discovered that the plot just so happened to be the septic drainage field.
Oh no. Or
So-
yes.
Whoa.
So we had these garden
Facility,
beds that
buddy.
were a little bit further off, but now instead I'm just going to start with the container garden, clear those gardens out from all the weeds and the death from
Yeah.
winter, and then just going to have a big giant container garden. We already have all the pots and stuff in the front
So
yard.
easy. So much easier.
You know what you could do,
Yeah.
John?
But heat.
If you knew people who knew how to install like small scale aquaponics systems, you could totally get those container gardens tapped into an aquaponics system and really get some explosive growth. If only you knew people.
If only I knew people. That'd be good on the front porch too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make them cute. You can make them not. You know,
Yeah.
they all work.
Exactly.
I go for the no tech.
No tech, low tech, low tech, no tech.
Yeah. You cut a pair of old jeans in half and ram some up through a hole in a bucket and a bunch of rocks and plant on it and just stick it over some other water source. It just wicks up the gene. You can go away for weeks in the summer.
Nice.
Don't
Yeah.
have to do nothing.
Keep it.
Yeah, I just got a
simple.
text message from somebody who said they're having trouble chatting on YouTube. Like it's not letting them put chats in. So
Oh.
if that's happened to you, just keep trying. I will see if I can find an alternate place for you to post in. I did want to kind of pivot here
We're being blocked.
because somebody asked, "What are y'all doing in the next 3 to 6 months?" Like we're about to get a whole Wednesday afternoon back.
Oh,
But before we do that, I thought it would be fun to talk about like think about when you first joined the Gaggle and now, like how much more freedom have you built into your life? Give me a couple examples because I'm curious about have there been any big changes, John Bush? Neethi, you want to start?
Yeah, I know. I learned about virtual assistants.
Yay.
I was like, why was I not doing this before? This is amazing. And it's really been liberating. You guys also encouraged me to just go big. Like during all of the crazy pandemic stuff, I feel like I've always had to push myself. And it was a relief to really have you guys help push me and confirm the things that I was already thinking and doing by saying, when everybody is trying to fear what's happening, we should just go bigger, better, faster, stronger while, they're distracted with the chaos. And so I really appreciate you guys all for that. And it was something I probably would have done anyway, or I've been trying to do, but I did it faster and more confidently because of you. So
Yeah, awesome.
Aw, that's
Hey,
nice.
John Bush, any big changes?
I remember when we first started, I was like, yeah, me and my fiance, one of these days we're going to buy some property here pretty soon. we really want to. And now we have a 10-acre homestead, which is super groovy. We got solar panels and power walls. And so that's good. And I started a second business, which very quickly out-revenued the first business. So that's great. And started this really super groovy summit that's very pertinent to what our audience is into, the Exit and Build Land Summit coming up May 13th to 15th in Bastrop, Texas. Get your tickets now while they still are on sale at exitandbuildlandsummit.com. That's exitandbuildlandsummit.com, where you'll be able to hear from these two right here.
no.
Shit, this is hard.
Put your hand up, Nicole. Help him
No,
out.
it's like, no way.
There you go. I'm all like brains like, wait a second.
I'm like, I'll say some shit if you want, but you don't want that.
So
John
life is
Dowie,
good.
you're so funny.
My coffee business is 4 times bigger than it was since joining this podcast.
Nice.
Nice.
That's not an insignificant growth, even though I was small at the time that we started, but it's also because of the relationships here. Because every one of y'all has been like super supportive every time I'm like, hey, I have this new thing I want to push. You'll talk about it on your networks. We talk about it here. And I think that seriously accelerated my business. So I want to thank everybody for that one.
Yeehaw. You had to get some new capital
Allroast.com.
equipment.
All I did with that one was say, buy the beans. Remember that?
.com.
Buy the beans. When
Buy
you were
the
worried about
beans.
supply chain shortage and you're like,
Oh,
if I have
yeah.
to buy the green beans now,
Yeah.
but I have to spend all the money now. And then it's like, buy the beans. You're going to sell the coffee,
Yeah.
buy the beans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like, and it's funny because that was about a $4,000 purchase, and now I'm like, do I spend another $7,000 on beans because I just spent $7,000 and that's $14,000 sitting in a shed
That's a
basically.
lot of beans.
Brian's like,
A
yeah,
lot of
buy the
beans.
beans, Nicole.
If you can get cheap money,
Yeah,
it's only going up.
I know.
Only
Well,
going
you
up.
have to be able
Oh,
to store them
be
though.
careful
safely.
with that mindset. It's only going up. There is a point.
Well, and the problem
There is a point where this
can't get
shit's going to hit critical fuckism. And
We
it's
can't-
going to go plop.
What
I'm
does
telling
critical
you, man,
fuckism look like exactly, Jack?
I don't know, but you'll
we-
know it when you see it.
we can't get beans at any price. I'm waiting
Wow.
on the number one bean for my Brian's blend because
Really?
it's stuck in country. I can't.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't get
How will I
Rwanda
live
either.
without my Brian's blend? I'm going to be like really sad.
I got enough.
You're
for
gonna
another
have to
couple
try
months.
my bucket blend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bucket blend. I like it.
So
this
yeah,
You
bottle-
need a blend like he makes, Nicole, where you have different roasts in the same bag.
That's bucket blend.
a post blend.
Okay.
Yeah. So you roast each bean to its optimal, right?
Yeah.
And then play around with different
I
percentages.
totally stole that
Yeah.
idea from him, and I call it bucket blend.
That blonde espresso shit he makes is good too.
Yeah, it. So we messed around with that when I had it was $1 billion coffee company when we had the lab to play with, right? It was 3 bean blends were optimal for taste profile, weight profile, all that kind of stuff. We messed around with a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
inside secret, wink, wink, in case you want to develop some whatever.
And whatever. So you can't get your critical bean.
Which one? Oh, no. So it's
Critical
as soon as it gets on the water, I'm getting an email and the money will, and I'll be in my little car waiting as they are unloading the truck.
Load the car. Yeah.
There's something to be said for living next to the port, literally 2 miles.
Yeah, no, he gets to load coffee in his car. I'm like, okay, I'm meeting a semi at the dam because they cannot get down my road. I mean, they can, but Jack is
I
in there,
understand that.
and we're gonna herc 12 bags
Ugh.
into the back of the truck, which they weigh 120 to 150 pounds.
I drove an
depending on-
F-350 to your house and I was fucking white knuckled the entire way. I didn't even have a trailer. I had a bunch of shit in the back, but it was just and there were certain parts of it I'm like, I'm not backing this land yacht up. So if somebody's coming the other way, they're the one going fucking backwards because I ain't doing it.
It's a holiday.
I do want to rewind real quick before I forget to a question that somebody asked earlier about lightning and stacking sats.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Not what lightning is for. Lightning is for, unless you're running a node and then you would know the answer to this. And so we'll let that go. So if you're running your own node to make money, that's different. If you're using lightning, it's for spending Bitcoin in small amounts so that you don't get wrecked on fees. So it's for buying. When somebody goes, well, you can't buy a coffee and a scone with your Bitcoin. Yeah, you can.
It's Venmo for Bitcoin.
It's Venmo for Bitcoin. It's spend
Although-
$1.50 and pay a 1 penny fee and have instant settlement.
I do stack cash on Venmo selling things, so you could stack sats by selling shit through Lightning.
Valid. Okay, so here's how I stack sats
But
with
I know what you
Lightning.
mean.
Here's how I stack sats with Lightning. I'm on Adam Curry's Bitcoin Lightning streaming thing.
Podcast 2.0.
Yeah, so I get
Podcast
sats
2.0.
every day, and they're in Lightning Bitcoin.
Huh.
And I just keep throwing them into my. So you withdraw them using Telegram, and I just keep withdrawing them into my Exodus Lightning wallet. That's why I know there's a Lightning wallet there now. Because I'm like, fuck, that's quite a few sats. Maybe I should get them off of the Telegram wallet. So I was like,
Yeah.
How do you withdraw them into Telegram?
Well, you withdraw them from Telegram. So you set your podcast up in Curry's 2.0 thing, and then people stream you sats. And then you set up with the bot where you can talk to the bot. It tells you your balance and how much came in. Like every time somebody streams to you or gives you a bonus or whatever, you see it. And it just tells you how much you have. And all you do is put /withdraw and you drop in. With Lightning, you use an invoice. So you basically are saying, I want this much money. And then you drop that invoice number in with the /withdraw. And it just immediately, and it's immediate. It's 3 seconds and it's in your wallet.
Wow.
That's what it's for. Small amounts, fast, and cheap.
So, if you're not using podcasting 2.0, you should be, is what Jack's saying.
If you're a podcaster, you should.
Was
You're
that-
probably in the directory
Yeah,
already. Because
you're
you
just
can
rolled in,
blob
right?
everything out of Apple. He just like grabbed the whole Apple directory and went, aha, here we go.
And put it on the blockchain. So there it is.
Everybody who builds a new podcasting platform does that because that's where you do that.
But you have to set it up so people can stream to you, and then you have to promote it, right? You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get a ton, but I get some sats every day.
Well, if you have
sometimes
the right,
it's like
podcast,
5, which is like a penny, and sometimes it's like I've had days where I get 100,000 sats.
It's all value. The value for value idea. If you have the right podcast app, you can tip the podcast you're listening to, and the app developer gets some, and blah blah blah. And then
I love that model.
It's a great idea.
Yeah,
the future.
Also, I loved that interview with Adam Curry and Jack Spirko. That was
pretty good.
Yeah.
Don't forget to have
our buddy Hatch said it caused the
33.
force. Nicole.
What?
Aaron Hatch, our audio guy from the workshop. Yeah. Hatch. He said Curry and me on the air together caused a disturbance in the force.
Oh getting to different interlinking audiences, right? That's the whole beauty. It's you know what? If I hadn't guest hosted the Goose, you guys, it wouldn't have got me fucking moving to finally just get past the being afraid to do it. Tim the Tool Man was trying to kick my ass for 6 months to do it. So yep, and then I just did it, and boom, now I got my own show.
Boom.
Well, thank you for carrying it the beginning of this year too, because there's so much crazy. You guys basically spun me into a new orbit. My conference is happening because of you. I have a lot of members here because of the Goose. A lot of locals in North Carolina found me because of the Goose, which was very amazing. And so I'm so appreciative.
Almost every new contact is somehow back to I found you through this show, through the Goose, or Goose, or always one hop or right. It's great.
It was great. It's great to meet Patriots through. A lot of Patriots came my way, so I was super excited about it.
Is this Marcus Couch the guy? Like the podcast 2.0 developer guy?
He's one of the guys. It's open source, so different people work on it. But he's one of the guys.
ITM Marcus.
Oh yeah, hit me. How hard was it to set up, or setting up Anchor versus that, just a 10-minute thing, or
and on monetization for all you content creators, it took me forever to turn SuperChats on for YouTube. If you live stream to YouTube, turn your fucking SuperChats on, because apparently I didn't take my own advice and I hate money.
I sent you that sticker this morning. I thought
I got $1.99 from Brian, but I've had if I turned it on, I've had episodes where I've made $300 in SuperChats.
No, is it a button? What is it?
Stupid. You go in your creator studio and you just say, I want to monetize, and you turn on SuperChats. I'm not going to do the membership on YouTube because screw that. But
do you have to have passed all of their minimum requirements to be able to do that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Okay, guys, I need 1,000 more streamed hours, please.
Well, everybody cross promote. Then help.
Everybody just put Nicole's. Everybody just put Nicole's channel on the background.
Living Free in Tennessee on autoplay and walk out of the room.
That's how you do it. I had friends do that for me. It worked. Jack, I heard you get super chatted on Tim Pool's show the other day.
Oh.
I heard that. I don't know anything about it, but I did. Somebody said it was mentioned in the super chat.
So I tried twice, and he didn't read it.
Okay, so say we were to set up a playlist of all of our shit in one, and you click the looping button.
Uh-huh.
Then it'd be easy for people to help you by doing that, right?
Yeah.
Go to bed.
I'll make my kid listen to it while he's going to sleep.
Awesome.
No more fucking Baby Shark.
Can
I just say the worst thing about Baby Shark is that the sharks, it's all right, but then the sharks chase these little bait fish around, and the bait fish hide, and they don't get to eat, and then they're fucking happy about it and dancing. I'm like, you're gonna starve to death. This isn't something to celebrate.
Oh, the shark. Sharks gotta live.
Poor shark.
So on the monetization thing, because we were talking about podcasting 2.0, and Letty said, taking notes, go listen. Jack has done 2 or 3 different podcasts in the last month. One of them about different ways to monetize, and one was with podcasting 2.0, and I actually cannot pull the names out of the other ones right now. But if you type the word podcast in his search bar, every time he gets one of those sort of entrepreneurial interviews of somebody who's finding a new way to monetize podcasts, It does not hurt to go set yourself up there and just see what happens. Because
Yeah.
even like with Odyssey, I get some monetization from Odyssey just by having my stuff automatically go there from YouTube.
Yeah.
If I manage to give a shit and spend more time with the community, I'd probably get more there, right?
I like Odyssey.
I like Odyssey too.
It's
By the
working
way,
now.
Bobby Joe says they're trying to get me on Rogan, even though I'd probably hate them. No, I would not.
No.
That would be incredible.
I emailed him a
Mhm.
month and a
I
half
would
ago.
love to be on Rogan.
It'd
Here's
be a
my next
fun
move, though.
show.
I know several Boston comedians that probably know him, so I'm going to try to tap that route.
My sister's cousins, nephews, neighbors,
Yeah.
employer.
Guy across the lake, actually. It's easy. Guy across the lake. I'm getting my fucking
Brother's cousin, uncle's former roommate.
canoe my
Hey, it's
ass
all you
over to
need,
the
man.
I'll go show up at his front door. I just
All
looked
right.
up the super chat thing and I'm not eligible. I meet all the other requirements, but I have an active community guideline strike. So I'm
Oh,
not
damn it.
Oh, no.
until that
Oh,
clears
my.
out.
I've like struck against.
What did you
So
say,
you
John?
can have one and keep it, but if you have one, you can't turn it on because I've got an active one too.
Yeah,
But-
it must have came after the fact. Let me see how long
Yeah.
this lasts.
Mine's
Expires
about
April
to run
16th.
out.
Hey,
Yeah.
coming up.
Coming
Then
up.
we have to start all over.
Sunday's a big day for John.
So, John, do you got to start all over? Like, because how does that work? Do you get to
No,
keep
I
your
think-
cumulative?
It expires if you're
Yeah.
a good boy.
I have 35,927 public watch hours.
Ooh, jeez.
That's
Where are you
exciting.
finding this?
I know.
You go to your creator
YouTube
studio
studio.
and then click
Yeah.
monetization.
Yeah.
I didn't even talk about any like vaccine stuff. The YouTube video was
John,
building the
I talk
Confederation
about-
of Freedom Cell communities.
Dude,
It's
I talk about
yeah.
meat. I talk
That's
about
not a
meat.
fair watch
There's
story.
a war on meat, and when I talk about meat, they've had me shadow banned for 12 years just for the meat. There's an agenda. In fact, this summer I'm doing
Agenda
a series.
21.
So from June to August, I'm doing a series
2030.
about the war against meat on my YouTube. If anybody can even get in there, I don't know. But like,
John, when did you say your copyright? Your not your copyright. Your strike expires.
April 16th.
isn't
That's
I'm trying to
Saturday.
see when
That's
mine.
Friday.
is.
Like 3 days
That's,
from now,
that's Saturday.
yeah?
Wait, did you guys get one together?
I don't think so.
I think
I'll
mine's
never
the
be naughty
12.
again. I'm actually getting more people that watch because whenever I try to email my list that I'm going to be doing a show in the next couple days, and I'll link to the YouTube and the Odyssey live stream.
Mhm.
And there's
Yeah.
actually like 2 to 3 times more people that are tuning in on Odyssey. I'm telling people to and encouraging them to,
Yeah.
but that's pretty promising, I think.
yeah.
Huh.
The one I'm trying to build up right now is Twitch.
Yeah,
Um,
I've heard you doing that.
Apparently, you can make some coin on there, but you got to get to where you're having like 75 people view your stream to get to the level where you can make some decent money. And I'm
Now
like,
he's there.
7.
Is it from gaming?
No, it's not just gaming. Now it's other things. Now you can.
Jack, my son is saying Twitch is very easy. What are you saying?
Yeah, because
It's
he's
easy to do. It's not easy to make money with.
It's not easy to make money.
easy to set up once you get.
He said
Yeah,
it's
it's
easy.
easy.
To
It's
set up.
set
once
up.
you-
I do it every day. It's not hard to set up. April
I'm not-
24, John. You get a clean record before me. April 24 is when I'm finally
Out of
clean
jail.
again. Yeah,
I'm good
Are
to
you
not
go.
gonna
in
stay
jail, I'm
clean
on
all the way
probation.
through April, though? That's the question.
I'm good to go for super chat, so I might just go live all day, just sit around in my underwear, and people can just toss me cash.
They'll take money from you if you do that.
24 hours.
No, put your pants back
if he
on.
puts their
More
half
likely to get
naked, they'll
cash
give
this
him money
way.
to put clothes
Yeah.
on.
So
You don't
you're
get
saying
strikes.
my closet full of furry costumes and this amplification system, I can make some money?
You don't get strikes when you just talk about microgreens all day.
Oh yeah, but I need music. Oh, I need original music.
Plant.
Speaking of strikes, have you guys heard this cobra venom thing with the vaccine?
I hear nothing.
No, what is
No.
that? I don't
What?
know what's going
No,
on.
tell us. Let's get a strike here because it doesn't matter.
I don't know. I guess my
Hey,
audience might
wait.
have a bigger
Let's turn
ratio
on-
of conspiracy
Let's turn on super
people.
chat for Unloose the Goose.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see if I can. I don't think we can.
We don't have
Every
enough.
guy-
But I,
I'm kidding.
we're on my
Everyone-
channel. Y'all can super chat us through me.
Sorry,
I will
Don, go
share
ahead.
the love by telling
Yeah.
them that you super chatted me and letting them feel like they're
Been
part of
buying a better whiskey.
All right. Okay. So here's
Sorry,
the
John.
thing. I knew that it was something to be aware of because I heard it from multiple different places. And they're like, are you going to watch? There's this guy, Stu Peters. He does a show. It's very
Heard of him.
popular on Rumble. He's kind of, he's not, I don't know. I don't find him to be very credible, but he's one of the guys that was doing like the nanotechnology in the vaccines, which maybe it's true. I don't know. But oftentimes it's like we have someone that has an MD by their name. Therefore, what they say is true. And they bring on like some quacky MD. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, people were like, are you going to watch it? Are you going to watch it? It has 1.5 million views on Rumble. And the idea is that the vaccine was the spike proteins in the vaccine were created from king cobra venom, and that the actual COVID thing was distributed through the water supply. And everyone's all up in arms about it. My whole thing is like, you know what? If it was Wuhan, if it was bats, I don't give a goddamn, because I know that they're crooked as F trying to screw us over. So what are we going to do about it? Everyone gets all worked up on these different theories and stuff when at the end of the day, they're pretty much meaningless.
If the vaccine was king cobra venom, I would trust it more.
Yeah,
came from an animal.
Yeah,
that would be
because
a
if it was
lot
from
of
an
king
animal.
cobras. Yeah, I just
Don't they make
as a herpetologist, because I'm not a human biologist, but I am a reptile biologist, and I'm just gonna say that like king cobra venom is really fucking expensive. It's
Maybe they
really,
synthesized
because you
it.
know how you get it? You have to take a king cobra and hold it by its neck and then make it bite some shit, and these little dribbles of venom to come out. And if you fuck up and it touches your finger, you die. So, like, it's really expensive, and it gets used in this stuff called anti-venom because people get bit by those fucking things in India, and they don't want to die. And it's the only way. And so you, like, kill a horse, and then you get the horse's blood, and then you save a life.
Yeah.
What
Maybe
they
synthesize it.
she was
Who knows?
choking, and she ran away.
I just looked up the king
Maybe there was a
cobra
king
or
cobra in a
venom,
room.
cobra venom, and it took me to a site, The Great Awakening, which is a Q thing. I wore this shirt today, and I was kind of concerned, like, is the Great Awakening a Q or a Trump thing, or is it just like we're all waking up? It's part of our deal too.
I can't keep up with all of that.
That Venn diagram just keeps moving.
There's a lot of kook that's getting injected into all the streams right now. I think it's
kook
just
with a
to
Q.
make you waste your fucking time.
Herpetologist.
Wait, can you see this?
Herpetologist.
I'm gonna build
That snake venom?
Oh,
based
there's
on
a snake in there.
Like
Nice.
a cobra and a bottle of booze right there.
wow.
All right.
What are you saving that one for?
Wow.
Well, it's a scorpion on this side and a cobra. I got it on the barter blanket last year at my workshop from a guy who had been in Mongolia. That's where he got it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
some of
I
that
think
Mongolian
that guy
liquor
came
just
to my
tastes-
watch party, Nicole. I got Mongolian vodka from him.
Yeah, probably. He's
There
coming
you
back
go.
this year.
That's where
Well, I got
COVID
this,
came from.
you can tell a lot of stories about a bottle of booze with a cobra and a scorpion in it.
Hell yeah.
Not
Yeah,
sure
the
if I should
vodka
drink
just
that.
made good martinis. It really wasn't anything special, but
Well-
Cobra, that's all right. Cobra Kai whiskey.
Yeah.
New
It's
side
supposed
hustle.
to have medicinal properties.
Wax on.
Yeah. Cures
So
COVID
Pure COVID.
permanently.
I did when y'all were talking about the cobra venom. I did look up cobra venom or snake venom and vaccine. I didn't find anything, but I did find that in 2021 they were doing research using a certain viper's venom to fight COVID in Brazil.
Uh-oh.
That was legit. They were doing that, but it wasn't for the vaccine. It was like for a treatment. And there's a lot of medications actually made with different venoms.
Yeah, they
So-
use this. I mean, aspirin's what, tree bark? I mean, you find something, try it, use it. Look at the vaunted ivermectin. Ooh, fungus, right? Or
Fungus.
whatever they found.
from like a
So-
golf course in
It makes
Tokyo or
sense. Like,
something.
I take insulin. It's not extracted from a fucking pig's pancreas. It's synthesized. So maybe, I don't know, maybe something.
Ivermectin, interestingly, for anybody who doesn't know, also helps to conduct electricity in our body electric. And isn't that fascinating for the folks that, I mean, if you look up radiation poisoning and the side effects of that, just something for you to think about. Because the side effects of radiation poisoning include, but are not limited to, pulmonary distress due to the dehydration. I mean, as a side effect of the dehydration, and also loss of taste and smell. Just saying.
if Boston got nuked, I'd be cool with taking some ivermectin just in case.
And increasing iodine also helps. Just
Yeah.
naturally also.
I bought that before it went up.
We have been developing new iodine deficiencies in this country because people stopped eating the iodized salt. And they started eating the frou-frou salts.
Well,
Yeah, I did
don't
that.
know.
Guilty of that.
You'll be okay.
I don't know.
And they're not getting their iodine elsewhere because they're probably eating a shit diet otherwise.
Well, maybe because they're also like scared of seafood and all these other things. And I don't know. You can get iodine from eggs too, you know, which you're not allowed to eat either.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
Well, you can't eat eggs because they're out of them, apparently, according to sources.
I have so many
I have
fucking
so
Anonymous
many
right now.
sources tell me
We
their eggs
have
are gone
eggs
at Walmart. Is this
we have
true?
eggs and we have chicken and we have everything, and we will not ever have all the meats. So if you need the meats and the
The
eggs.
5 dozen in my store. Yes.
Well, what's funny is I get these reports from people who are like, I was just at Walmart and there was 1 dozen eggs left, or it's completely empty. And I've read like 4 of them today in my network.
But what
Yeah.
day?
And then meanwhile,
What time?
farmers market, like my community group, somebody said, hey, I'm just, interested in learning who does farm fresh eggs, because they're trying to be all subtle about it. And like 90 farmers are like sending pictures of these pyramids of eggs, because right now is when all the eggs are happening.
Yeah, it's not.
We
This
have
is when
eggs, people.
right now
We
is
have
when
eggs.
all the eggs happen and no one fucking wants to buy them. And then in November, when everybody's like, you know what I should do? I should get some duck eggs to bake for Thanksgiving. And they call
We
me.
ain't got any now.
And I'm like,
brother.
sorry,
We
you
don't
missed the
have
boat.
them.
Like,
Sorry.
they're on strike now.
Right.
I have 6 dozen in there for my regular customers, of which you are not one.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's
Correct.
what
I
I
need
do.
a half
All mine are
dozen.
going to the
Oh,
workshop attendees in 2 weeks. Like all the eggs at this point, unless I'm eating them, that's where they're going, because people pay good money to be here. They're going to get good food.
We've already frozen enough, Nicole, for our fall workshop. From
Oh,
this
yeah.
spring.
Excellent.
You
Our
crack them
spring
and then
went,
freeze them?
like the ducks were like laying eggs in like a cartoon, man. Like I've got 6 ducks sitting on brood right now.
Nice.
And those are the ones I know of, because there's like a few missing, and I think they've picked a place outside of the duck house to go do their duck thing. They're hiding somewhere. I'm gonna have like muscovies like running around like ants.
We're going to add muscovies this year.
They're,
I just
they're
picked up
delicious.
I just picked up a big ass Drake Muscovy to go with my.
Oh, I saw that one. Was it like a gray color or?
Yeah, I got a picture. I'll send it over.
Yeah.
I'll put it on my screen.
Put it on your
We
screen.
have the technology.
Be careful handling those things, John. They're
Oh,
not like normal ducks.
I
Their
know.
claws will open you like a razor, but like a jagged razor.
Yeah, I've had him before. His claws are fucking huge.
And they're strong.
Yeah,
They're stupid strong.
he's a big boy. He's I'm a little freaked out by him. I'm not lying.
They don't mess
Chicken
around.
McNuggets and ranch dressing is the blame for all the issues of the post Gen X. Yeah, I guess. I don't do ranch dressing. I had a very bad ranch dressing experience when I was 21 years old. So
I like me some ranch.
Ruined it
I
for
make,
you.
I make
Pizza in
my own ranch.
Ruined it.
it
for
wasn't anything like drinking induced or anything. It was, we were visiting a friend's family, and his sister dipped the pizza crust in ranch dressing, which
Yeah.
sounds terrible. And I tried
stuff.
it, and it's actually really good. And
Yeah.
we were driving like across the country the next day, and I just happened to get the flu at the same time. And I was like 4 times had him pull the car over and throwing up pizza and ranch dressing on the side of the road. And that's never, no more. No more ranch.
Yeah.
That's why I don't
I
like
feel it.
Chardonnay.
Chardonnay.
That's why I don't like tequila. But that was after we were licking, slamming, sucking it while we were camping out for tickets.
I remember those days.
For the Rolling Stones. And I got 5th row seats for the Stones concert. This was years ago, back when we saw them over here at Carter Finley Stadium. They blew out all the noise ordinances. And then after that, you weren't allowed to have a concert at Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh anymore.
How are those guys still alive? That's a question to be answered.
Oh, well, this was in the 80s, okay, just to be clear,
But
Jack.
they're still alive. Right?
Yeah.
You're telling this story from the 80s, and they were like, their hits are all from the late 60s.
Right. They're
And
just preserved.
2022, and these guys, Keith Richards has done so many drugs. When he dies, we're going to freeze dry him and smoke him and get high forever.
Jake,
Right.
And they're still
That's
alive.
how good pot is for you people, just in case you don't really know.
Oh, so funny.
Obviously.
Hey, Nathan, somebody
apparently.
wants to know when your conference is. I can't remember.
My
October
conference
12th.
is October 15th weekend, you
15th.
guys.
15.
And it's the 15th weekend. I'm so excited about it. And I'm just doing we're doing so many new building parts and pieces that I feel like I can't get everything done fast enough, y'all. I swear. But
Oh, you got months. It'll be fine. Before you know it, it'll
Team
be 3 days before you'll still be writing content. But
yeah,
so it's the food. Is it? What's the name of it?
it's the Food Church Conference.
Cool. And
Food church.
people learn how to do
I-
food church, how to grow food. Like
Well,
what-
okay,
what-
so I'm
covered?
calling all health coaches, all eaters who want to just gain more health, and also anybody who actually wants to really farm, not like necessarily homestead, but farm, like farming. So if you're wanting to like actually have a farm, what's the difference between a farm and a homestead? Like the business versus just homesteading, for yourself. And any eaters that just want to gain health. So Daniel Soliton will be here. Dr. Kim Berry will be here. The Jacksons will be speaking. Nicole Sauce will be here.
Nicole
Nicole
Sauce.
Sauce.
What?
Will be in the house. So
The one, the
and-
only.
exactly. And I'm so excited, you guys. I just can't wait. Can't wait to meet everybody.
Am I still echoing?
Oh,
no.
Okay.
You fixed it.
Yeah.
Now somebody else is.
Somebody is.
Uh-oh.
Nobody did.
Am I?
We said Q earlier.
Nah.
Do.
Da-da-da-da-da.
So this is it, huh? We're never going to talk to each other after this?
I hope you guys are going to keep in touch.
The reunion tour.
Well, the
There
thing
you go.
is this, we could totally do reunion shows every so often
Right.
when a
Yeah,
topic
not the same
warrants
time.
it.
We could feed the YouTube channel with everyone's video, like an aggregator, everyone's content.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, if somebody wants, yes.
That's a good idea.
I'm going to miss everybody.
Yeah.
You can invite them on your show.
Yes.
So
What's your show?
what shows do we have? Because
Yeah, let's go around.
Oh, yeah.
What do you got, Nitty?
I have
We'll
Niti the Pharmacist, you guys.
Is it a YouTube show?
It's a YouTube channel. I'm not very consistent, y'all. I'm very seasonal. So, I'm doing my June to August season. I hope you'll join me on Niti the Pharmacist on YouTube.
Yep. John, what do you have you spun anything off from this, or do you already have your stuff?
I had my Live Free Now show podcast,
Yeah,
the official podcast of Live Free Academy.
What do you put that out like once a week?
I try to do it once a week. Yeah, I'd really like to make it every Tuesday at 11, so everyone can expect it.
It's hard. It's hard.
I haven't done that. Yeah, there's always just stuff going on, which is why I was sporadic on this show too. It's like I overload myself, and I've come to realize, and this is good advice for anybody that's entrepreneurial or wants to do business. Like it's all, if you're so ambitious, like I am, and like we all are,
Mhm.
the only way to accomplish it without losing your mind or without having to pull back is to build a team. And so I've been really hyper focused on that. Like I have 2 full-time staff. I have 2 contractors that are mostly full-time. And then there's like half a dozen other contractors I work with. And I'm just really getting conscious that like I have these crazy ambitions, and I don't want to be like, well, maybe that can just wait for 2 or 3 years down the road. I want to do it all now because I'm just excited and it's all great ideas. And I get anxiety when there's like opportunity and money left on the table that's not being leveraged. So it's all about building a team. And I've really been more conscious about leadership. And I'm taking all these little courses and reading books like John Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership and all this stuff. And I went to this Grant Cardone training in Miami a while back, and he came out for part of it. And he was like, everyone shout out reasons why you're not living up to your potential with your business. And I said, because of overwhelm. And he looked right at me and he's like, overwhelm, you just need a team, man. And that like really stuck with me. I was like, he's right. So it's all about working with other people. And then if you're the leader, make sure that you are teaching and training and empowering people, because just having people in your crew doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a fine-tuned machine. You really have to focus on yourself, and the quality of business or organization or activist effort is all related to the quality of the leader. So that's just something I've been really focused on.
One of my really good friends who is speaking at my workshop, her name is Sue Zoldak, and she runs an ad agency in the Beltway. She focuses on policy, public policy, and politics.
Our favorite thing?
Yeah. So if you've ever worked in that world, what you know is that seasonally you get no sleep and no break. And one of the things she does, and she just came back from it, is she flies to Texas and goes to this spa and puts her phone away for a whole week. Like you just cannot reach her, and does all of these like yoga and massages and rejuvenating things. And she tells her team, like, listen, if I'm going to be a good leader, I'm going to be gone and you got to deal with it. And I need to rejuvenate me because we're about to hit like high time again for political campaigns. And it's always right after most of the state legislative sessions are ending right about now or are over. And so she schedules it for that. And that is something I think a lot of leaders need to learn from, that it's not just, like Jack takes his break off between Christmas and New Year's. Like there is time where you just have to shut off completely. Yeah. Or you're a shit leader because you're frantic and you're unrested and it's irritable. A disaster.
I try that, but like this weekend, my fiance was with her family in Arizona and the kids were with their mom. And I actually went to this awesome reggae concert, and it was like almost like a spiritual experience because the artist Natalie Rise is so incredible with her potent message. And I had a few vodka drinks. I rarely ever drink, but it was like, wow, I need to enjoy life more because I'm doing so much better financially. But one of the problems I have is like I don't even have time to spend the freaking money. And I know it's a good problem to have. Sorry if it's like whatever, but like I work my ass off, and then it's like, well, what the fuck am I going to do now? Oh, I'm just going to work more, and the money's losing value and stuff. So I definitely need to take that more. I need to take a line from Jack where it's like, no, you cannot reach me. It's the real deal. Because I still fuck with my phone.
I am not doing a permaculture design for you right now because every second counts.
Yeah.
Well, John, you know what? The big deal about that also is when you're on that break, the inspiration that you get and the focus that you get on that break. I mean, I come back and I am ready to pour so much more out after the break. And I mean, like this January, I felt like I was like poisoned. I was just like down. I was like in bed. I couldn't think. But I'll tell you, after that hard stop, I feel like I came back super powered because I was very clear on what it was that I had to do. And I haven't done anything outside of that. This is the only show that I was doing. I haven't talked to anybody on social. I haven't written anything or done anything otherwise because, I mean, I really wanted to invest in this first of all, and I made a commitment and I keep it. But the rest of my energy has literally been to create all this other stuff. And I'm not going to talk to anybody until it's done. And I'm almost done. I mean, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
That's how you get the book written.
Yeah.
Because you just gotta, right, Jack?
Right.
You just gotta like power through it.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, you got to do. I'm building a course right now, and that's like the first course I've ever built like this.
Oh, yeah. Your course got Candace to like watch Jack's spear coat. It broke through because permaculture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3,000 fucking.
How far along? Like, tell us about your course, Jack.
Yeah. Let's hear about it.
It's great.
So it's great. So I've been doing aquatics for about 8 years on one level or another, and there's a lot of shit on aquaponics, which is a little piece of aquatics. I'm talking more several thousand gallon size backyard ponds and actually making them productive with food. And so I was like, maybe I should put a course together. It could be like a little $50 course or something. So I sat down and started writing a syllabus. And 3 weeks later, I was done with the syllabus. Wow. And I went, this is not a $50 course. This is like a $500 course or something. It's basically going to be like an aquatics version of a PDC, except it's all practical, hands-on things you can actually do, how you build overflows and keep them from clogging, how to keep your fish alive if your pump goes down, what fish do you grow, how do you grow them, how do you harvest them, what plants do you grow, how do you grow them, how do you harvest them. And there's just nothing like it out there. And when I look at sustainable food production around the world where people actually do this, not because it's cool or because they're worried about their economy, because they have no economy. And if they don't feed themselves, they die. the number one place I find like this is in the East Asian countries, and this is what they do. Bill Mollison one time said, if you give a Chinaman a teacup, he'll put a fish in it, right? Like no matter what, you're going to use fish, and then the fish are only one piece of the total system. So like I just got a package in just now. I'm growing like 2 different varieties of duck potato this year, Chinese variety and a North American variety. I'm growing water chestnut. I'm growing Ivermectin aquatica. I'm growing like special aquatic mints. I'm doing like all this stuff, and I'm condensing it into this course that should go on sale June, July of this year.
And you got through the permaculture ethics, and you didn't, she's a hippie.
It'll be a video course.
You're talking about his.
It's going to be a video course, yeah. But it's going to be like each segment. When you're done, you have an exam, and then you get a certification at the end of it. It's like a full on. It's an incredible amount of work, and I'm having to learn a different software for the course, not for the video production and all that, but because that's all done with PowerPoint, video clips, and stuff. That's easy, and then I'm using StreamYard and to record it, so it's fine. It's the learning management software. Because like the software I'm using is actually used by like colleges and shit like that. Like University of Florida uses it for their online course curriculum. And
which one?
Which one is it?
It is.
That's what I wanted to know.
It's a pain in the
LearnDash.
ass.
LearnDash.
Oh, that's what I use.
LearnDash.
LearnDash. And I'm adding the things like where students can on the fly keep notes, and it's all saved for them and stuff like that. And like I'm gamifying it where there's a leaderboard and who's doing the best and stuff. Yeah, it's going to be really cool, and it's a tremendous. Like I said, it took me 3 weeks to write the syllabus. The syllabus is 15 pages.
Heck yeah!
And that's just headings. That's just headings and bullet points. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, if you ever hit any roadblocks, I use LearnDash, and it's a pain in the ass, but it's better than the previous things that I've used.
I think it's a pain in the ass until you learn it. Like I'm learning it now. Like things are in different places. Like you build the course here, but you build the content here, and then you link the two of them together. And
Wow. So Jack, is it going to allow you to where they can do the modules, and then they finish the modules, and then they get the test, and then they can go back to the modules if they.
Oh, you can watch it as many times as you want.
Okay.
Yeah, but you have to progress through it.
Right.
So I'm setting it up to take the test. But once you've completed it, you can go back and watch it as many times as you want.
Push them along.
You can't jump to like chapter 14 and take that test. You got to progress through it.
Yeah, I was looking for something because I'm for the food church affiliation. I wanted them to be able to take a course for it.
Oh, cool. That's a good idea.
Because
I have an affiliate link, so if anybody wants to use this shit, email me. I don't hate money.
You also have an affiliate link for selfreliancefestival.com.
I've been pimping that all week on my Daily Mail. I hope you get some people.
Okay. Behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, 75 for Chicken Joe. See that? As soon as we get the coffee club to 75, boom, Airbnb gets closed, and we don't have to have random strangers. I can just have permaculture friends stay.
What number are you at?
I'll zoom in. Oh, let's see. 43 sold. So 75's not that far. This is a huge audience. Come on. You guys drink coffee.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Somebody drinks coffee. It's $40 a month. You get 2 pounds of your call. Anything. Go look through my coffees. Got like 10 of them.
I just get 2 pounds of random coffee from him every month.
Yeah. I love it when people say, "I just drink what you're drinking." And,
whatever.
I get Brian's blend, but there's a critical bean missing, and this.
No, not missing. I buy out ahead.
Right, this is really disturbing to me.
Farther than I ever think I buy out. Like I'm like, I always go long. And when I talked to Pugliano in November, very specifically about how far to go, he was like, if you don't pull the trigger in December, when you do it in January, get enough, And then I did, and then there wasn't any.
Yeah.
But whatever. I still got enough, so.
Did you see the dude that got arrested in Florida for the Biden sticker? I did that sticker.
What? On a gas pump?
I don't know.
Yeah, but he didn't
Yes.
really get arrested for the sticker itself. Like somebody called the cops on him, and when the cops came, instead of saying, "Yeah, I put a sticker there, write me a ticket or whatever," he like lost his freaking shit and like went total freaking postal meltdown. So of course they get him for like basic vandalism.
Disorderly
But
conduct.
then he's like disorderly contact, resisting arrest.
Oh,
And
no.
resisting arrest is usually a made-up charge. Like I saw the video. No. This wasn't one of these. Stop resisting. Stop. It was like
He was like actually
kick your
resisting.
ass. And it's like, no, you won't kick their ass. That's not a thing.
No.
Because that's the Ron White bouncer thing. You know, when it comes to cops kicking your ass, it's like a bouncer kicking your ass in a club. He's like, I didn't know how many of them was going to take to kick my ass, but I knew how many they were going to use. All of them.
All of them.
All of them. It's a good piece of information to have.
Oh my God. Okay, my 30th birthday or 40th. It was one of the round numbers. It was one
All
of the
blur
times I
back
almost
then.
quit drinking. I was at the Four Queens Casino playing Pai Gow. And I stood up and I was about to flip the table over, and I could see the security guys coming at me. And I gently like put my hands down and threw myself out. That's statute of limitations. So
I got thrown out of a club once, wasted off my ass, and then went to go try to complain to the cops that they threw me and this girl I was out with, totally drunk. And like, of course, the cops and the bouncers are all part of the good old boy. They work and support each other.
Always a mistake.
It's just funny looking. Like I felt like such a victim, you know. And now looking back, you're like, I was just a dumbass. What?
I've thrown.
Anytime it's
so
the end of the night and you're being thrown out for being drunk,
Yeah.
you're probably a dumbass.
This
I've
was like
thrown
3
so many
nights
people out of a
ago.
bar
The
and had
fiance
them
was
call
out
the
of town. No,
cops.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
This
Thrown
was a
so
long
many
time
people
ago.
out and had them call the cops, and I stand there and I go, dude, if you call the fucking cops on me that works here, you're going to jail.
oh,
They
it's just
never
for
believed me.
Allison in Boston, right?
They never fucking believe me, and they always go to jail.
Oh, yeah.
I picked the guy up. I picked the guy up by his ass in the back of his neck once and fucking aired him off a patio into the
Wow.
ground because he told me, I'm not leaving. You're going to have to make me leave. And I was like, fucking challenge accepted. And
You got it.
he called the cops on me, and they just arrested him. I'm like, dude, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
It's a good
Wow.
time.
Wow.
People are not.
It's almost
thinking in
like
that
bars
state. That's
pay
the thing.
huge taxes to the city.
Almost.
I
Hey,
threw people out of a bar for 2 years, and I only ever had to hit one person in those 2 years. It was more of just, okay, you got to leave.
You threw your best friend out of a bar.
Like multiple times, but we didn't know each other yet.
Yeah.
We didn't find out until we came to your house that I threw him out.
Yeah.
Like 5 or 6 times. He's like, he was a really nice guy, but he had this armbar. I'm like, this? And he's like, oh, you fucker. And I'm like, yeah, it was me.
Oh, no, you're bouncing.
Ah.
Hey, so what should I name this duck?
Oh.
Fauci.
Fauci.
I don't want to have to kill him right away.
Oh, that's funny.
He's a big Muscovy Drake.
Is
Wow.
is that a redhead? No.
Yeah, well,
That's no, that's just the
Is that
red
a red
one.
eye?
yeah,
They all have red.
he's a big boy. He's got a big ass mohawk, so I was thinking about calling him Sid Vicious.
Well, I had a really huge one. I named him Arnold, like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And then I had 2
and there's
kind
this
of
little.
fairly
little
good-sized sons of his, and I named them Hans and Franz. From we're here at the
You're
pump.
pretty
You're
proud
off.
of himself.
Yeah.
Pump
Classic.
you up.
Unfortunately, they're all caged up right now because of bird flu.
I
Yeah.
don't
Oh, really?
understand how that works, but okay.
So they don't cut
Well,
out.
there's a duck. There's 3 of us farms in town with birds, basically, and one is a sanctuary, meaning they take everybody's birds they don't fucking want, and they let them all swim around in this pond with the wild ducks, and they got bird flu, and they had to euthanize like 80 ducks or something.
Man.
And then, so it's too close for me to fuck around with it. So they're not allowed in the river anymore. Till
Okay,
next year.
three name suggestions from the audience are Rorschach,
I can't do Daffy because we already had a Daffy.
Sinister, and Daffy.
Sinister.
Sinister.
When I had a giant pig, I named him Brutus.
Mm.
And now we have his son, LB, down in the pasture. Mhm.
Maximus is a good name for a big animal.
Yeah.
Maximus. Yeah.
Maximus.
Beast.
Maximus.
Duckus Maximus.
He is pretty big. I had a male Muscovy years ago that was bigger, and he just fucking dropped dead at like 8 months. He had a heart attack.
There's 2 huge ones at a lake I go fishing at with this guide buddy of mine, and I want them, but I'm afraid I'm going to get arrested. I mean, they're freaking like
Goose size
Muscovies, man. They're massive. I mean, I've never seen Muscovies that big, and I'm like, technically, there's no reason they're an invasive species, but I can just see like the dude that runs the restaurant on the marina calling Grapevine PD and like, they finally got Spirko. What's he going to jail for? Duck napping.
You're out there.
It'd be believable though.
They'll call it like they'll make it federal because they're a migratory bird or some shit.
Are they? I don't know. Are Muscovies migratory?
They are officially a migratory bird because they crossed over. There's a small native population that crossed the Rio Grande in South Texas. So they're in 2 countries at once, and they traveled there, and that makes them migratory, according to your government, John.
Muscovy invasive.
I don't have a government.
Not my government. It's your government.
That is your government.
Not mine. You're the one that lives on the state with the border.
Yeah, you're the one that freaking loves AOC. I don't know, man. Like,
you give me 6 months with AOC locked in a room. I will show you the first libertarian congresswoman and the first future libertarian president.
Wait a minute. Can we make this happen? How much
that's
money does it take to make this happen? Because I accept this challenge if we can raise funds.
That statement doesn't pertain anymore. I have a kid now.
Just 6 months locked in a room. I see the feds going to your house now.
Yeah.
It's a QAnon conspiracy to capture AOC.
Oh my goodness.
I would have done that when she was
through the dark web.
It would have been easier when she was a bartender.
Podcast
Here.
2.0.
You have to teach her what a garbage disposal does first. She doesn't know.
Right?
She's afraid of the garbage disposal.
What?
Now, what is she? Is she a millennial? Is that what that is?
I guess, technically.
I don't know these generations.
No, seriously, when she first moved to DC, she had a Twitter video she put out.
Oh, yeah.
She had never seen a garbage disposal, apparently, and she was afraid of it.
What?
She didn't know what it did. If it was okay to turn it on, what can go in it.
Just you had your hand down there when you figured that lesson.
Stick your fingers in there and play with it and see what it does.
Oh my God.
Stupidity should hurt.
Yeah, if you capture these ducks at the park, you can just say you put them there.
Yeah.
They got away
by accident.
These are well-known ducks, man.
So my
this
biggest
is a big
was
public marina. If they were like at the city park, I would just go get them. This is a big like commercial, like yachts and shit in the slips and like burger joint, beer joint, like boats in and out all the time.
Yeah.
Well, then that's a nighttime mission.
Oh,
security cameras.
Put like a khaki button-down shirt on and some pants, and just go and act all fucking official.
That was wait, a khaki shirt and a clipboard. You got
just get some
that
was off the internet.
When Nicole, when David and I were trapping fish, we were just gonna like put some college-looking shit on, right, and get a board, and we're doing surveys for UTA.
Yep,
right, like, and then nobody's gonna bother you. Like,
you'd have to bring like 3
all you gotta do
kids
is put an
with
orange cone behind your truck, and everybody leaves you the fuck alone. Oh shit, he's a contractor doing official business. Leave him alone.
That's a good idea. I should carry a cone.
Orange cone.
It'll totally work.
You get them before you pick them up on the highway when you see one
print yourself up a badge.
Yeah.
And then you're authorized to be there, or an identity tag. Totally authorized to be there. You can get in anywhere. Right, John Bush? Except for Elon Musk's big party.
Where's my...
Oh,
I tried.
Printable magnets are just so funny. Especially when you just make yourself into a news agency in the middle of a pandemic.
There you go.
Can drive anywhere.
Yeah, he's got his press badge.
For the Universal Life Church.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, Jack,
when we go to the Visionary.
When we go to hockey games, I use my Universal Life dash tag for consulate privileges because, goddamn it, my church requires hockey at least once a season. And we get a spot right up front. Oh, it's great. They're like, "Thank you, sir."
Minister placards, all that.
Oh
shit.
Yeah. Oh, it's worth every penny.
tried to use a press pass. The first time I got arrested was in, I don't know, 2012 or 2013. Obama was speaking at the University of Texas campus, which is here in Austin. And I didn't even really show up to protest. I just wanted to document things, and I knew that there would probably be protesters. I ended up, of course, protesting the war and stuff. But they had a free speech zone way the hell away from Obama's view or anybody that had anything to do with the event, the media and stuff. And so we're having a conversation with the college students about Obama and war. And, you know, the dean of students comes over and tells me to go over there, blah, blah, blah. I don't, of course, but I had a press pass, and she got one of the cops, the university cops, to come harass me. And I was like, I have a press pass here. They ended up arresting me. I fought it in court. They lowered the charge from failure. They went from criminal trespassing on public property, and I refused to do a plea deal, which that was a Class B misdemeanor. Then they dropped it to a Class C misdemeanor, failure to obey the order of an officer. Yeah. And I knew that I had him because the officer never gave me an order. He would tell me to go. He was like, I was talking to him, asking him questions like, you don't want to do this. You know the First Amendment, blah, blah, blah. He never was like, son, you need to leave the property. So I ended up getting it. I ended up being not guilty in court. But anyway, I tried to flex that press pass and read the First Amendment, but it didn't stop me from getting arrested.
They were like, screw you and your press pass. You don't have our press pass.
How do you trespass on public property? That's
Publish.
Jerks. I had a camera too. Man.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it is what it is, man.
I'll marry some folks. Come out. Squatch Fest is a great place to get married.
Okay, who here cannot marry people? Because we, like according to signing the certificate, you cannot.
No.
I can agorist style if anybody wants to.
I have my official everything.
I have no desire in
married in the food
shit
church.
that I got to do.
You can come get married in the food church.
I mean, if you want paperwork and all, you can send in for it. But if you just want to have ministry credentials, just go to ulc.org, fill out a form, and you're a minister. And this is why every agorist and every freedom-loving person should be officially a minister.
Right.
So if John Dowie is foolish enough to bring in confidence to me some things he's worried about, and one day the police ever ask me, as a material witness against Mr. Dowie, I'll have to say any conversations we had about that, I was acting as his minister, and therefore I cannot reveal anything that Mr. Dowie told me. I'm sorry. And here's my credentials, and you can go suck an ass. Because in
some states you have to have a letter of letter of good standing to sign marriage certificates. Washington's one of them, so I had to pay the extra $10 to get the letter.
Extra $10.
It's $10. Yeah. But if
they
you don't
want some money, guys, you just need to be like, how much do you need? How much do you need me to pay you for this?
I'm supposed to get married in August.
Like I said earlier, it's punishable by fine means legal for a fee.
Yeah.
That's what that means. Punishable by fine. So
my only question about that is, what if you don't pay the fine?
Well, then you got a problem. But you can be strategic. So when I was in high school, there was this place that I wasn't supposed to park, but it was very convenient. It was right in front of the school. And a parking ticket was like $10. And the cops were lazy as shit. So they would come by and write a ticket like once every 2 or 3 weeks. And since it's a parking ticket, there's no points on your license or anything. So I just looked at it like $10 every 2 to 3 weeks. That's just my parking fee. And then after like the 5th time they wrote me a ticket that year, then they got the ass. And then they were like every day. So I'm like, okay. So I went and parked somewhere else. And like later, I put it back.
That's agorism.
And I'm like, okay, fuck, they got my number now. But like, I went like 6 months just paying like $10 a month to park. It was great.
That is agorism.
Yeah.
I haven't paid to park in downtown Seattle ever.
I mean, that is agorism because you're figuring out your risk benefit, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of people are like so butthurt over the $10 parking fee, that they won't do it again.
Yeah. What's funny is
they just want their $10.
If you told that person for $20 you can park here every month, they probably would pay the $20, but they can't work out. I can pay $10 by paying one ticket a month, and I'm ahead. And they're like, but I don't know. People are scared of shit, man.
It's the fear control.
I had a $400 car. What are you going to do? Tow my car? Yeah. I'll go get another one before I pay to get it out. Mm-hmm. It was a 72 Grand Prix.
Nice.
You know, I mean, like,
That's like Mexico when you get pulled over, you can pay a little extortion fee. I prefer that to go into the courts.
I don't know why people don't just do the math. It's math, y'all.
Speed
math.
tax.
I mean, that's how business is done, right?
Right. It's the math.
When you go from U.S. to international business, there's this bribery thing that happens.
Yep.
And that's part of the math. And here it's, you can get into more trouble for bribes, but in other countries, that's not necessarily the case. It's just part of doing
it. It
business.
is standard operating procedure.
Right. And
standard.
If you don't start analyzing things that way, then you'll never move off the X.
Right.
Because who wants to fill out forms?
Exactly. Yeah. Got to get off the X, people.
And John Dowie just announced he's getting married. I just wanted to point that out, and y'all missed it.
Oh,
Who's that?
Oh,
supposed
congratulations.
weren't you
I'm
supposed to come down here last year and I was going to marry you?
We were going to last minute it at your workshop, but it just was, it didn't happen.
Didn't work.
We couldn't get both of us on the plane. And then I figured our families would have been kind of pissed off if we got married with a bunch of people that they don't even know.
No, you should totally do that.
It's
Your wedding, your way, dude.
We're supposed to get married this August, but I've made 0 plans so far. So we'll see where this goes.
I kidnapped people on the way to a fish show.
I want you to know that the female contingent of the workshop was like in full fucking bore mode, like balloons and matching colors and all kinds of shit. And I'm like,
yeah,
I think I'm just supposed to do this in front of the fire and be done with it. And they're like,
yeah,
no, we got to do all this shit. I'm like,
it would have been great. I don't remember what it was. It was something like the last minute plane ticket wasn't happening or something. I don't remember.
It was like $8,000 million or something for her.
Yeah. And flying with a baby. How old was he? Like 4 months old or something?
He's your kid.
He was born in June. Well, I know when he was born, but I can't do the math from June to November.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
do
hard.
math. This is why I don't
Math
leave the
is
country.
hard.
I can't do the math to bribe the cops if I leave the country, so I just stay here.
Math is hard.
You were hilarious.
Math isn't hard.
June.
Number
June 1 month.
dyslexia and math can be a little hard, but it's not. Even that you can overcome.
What month is June? 6th? So yeah, he was like 5 months old.
Mm-hmm.
You're so hilarious. Oh my god.
How do you
He loves his son though.
Listen, no, look, the months and the numbers are fucked up. No, bear with me. There's logic here. October, oct, OCT is 8 in fucking Latin, right? Why is that the 10th month? That's bullshit.
Because
And
that's
then,
not
like,
how it works.
September, Sept is 9, right? Sept is 9. Why is it 7? That December, Deca's 10. This is who the fuck thought this up? Ridiculous. That's all.
You should change it. You're an agorist. You do what you want.
I will.
Yeah, do it your way.
I stopped changing my clock fucking years ago, which is why I'm late to everything.
Oh my god!
Hey, didn't they officially say they're going to quit that now?
No, they don't. No,
They
not
do
really.
that every time.
It's not.
I did just see a great video on why we're not 360 anymore, because when the random
60
planet
does.
X comes by, right, the
Because what?
time wave that it pushes bumped us out. It's a gravitational push, bumped us slightly out from the sun by 5 days going around.
Wow.
That's why we're not on it. Used to all be 360 allegedly,
Ah.
and that's the why, a gravitational
say.
push by a big giant force that comes
This
by every
discussion of
1,000.
orbits and shit has me sad that our debate, Nicole, never happened with my guy that
I
thought the
know.
Earth was flat.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to that.
That dude was gonna lose his ass.
I can pretend because I probably know
I mean-
just as much as he actually knew about it.
He
Dress up and
he was so busy being defensive about debate rules and shit that he didn't manage to convey a single fucking fact
No.
the whole time.
No.
If you go to
And,
rules,
and all he had to do was dial all that emotion back and just start talking on a level, and he could have actually stood up against you if he would have just dialed it back, but he was super defensive.
Yeah.
If he would have just asked what happened to Leif the Lucky, he would have won the debate. Anybody know that reference?
No.
Oh, come on.
Yep.
It's Eric the Viking, pseudo Monty Python.
No, every time I have
They
a communication
sail.
where somebody is like all bought into their thing emotionally, I'm like, it's just like that guy that I wasted my fucking time on about the flat earth debate, who did not like throw down. He didn't even bother to show up. Like,
How
Yeah,
many
he
I don't
got
know
away
if
like
you are
a
if
week
you don't
before
show
it.
up.
In years,
a
are you going to
buster.
be? Are you going to be? So like Jenny and I went to this randomly by accident, ended up at a bar once when we should have been doing shit when we first bought our house, and we spent the whole fucking day there, wasted the whole day, and then the next day we were hungover, and then we never it took us forever to catch up from that lost time. And now it's 12 years later. And the other day I was talking to her and I was like, if we had only fucking not gone to the Nazwa that one day, I wouldn't be so far behind. Like, it's just recurring thing. So
Cumulative
you can
effect.
do this with that guy for like 20 years.
Forever.
Just be like, that guy, if it weren't for that guy, I'd have all this stuff dehydrated, all the coffee
had,
would be
like,
roasted.
I put time into it. I made the rules because he wouldn't contribute to rules. I'm like, here's how I see the debate going. Get 8-minute
Yeah,
open.
and he's like, here's the rules. Here's an outline. Like,
Yeah.
change the outline if you want to.
Yeah.
He wasn't
It was
like, you have to
great
do my
podcast.
rules.
And I'm like we're like a week away from it, and I'm like, you have yet to, because what we said is we both got to submit 6 questions or something, and then
5
those were in advance,
yeah.
and Nicole would source 6 that we didn't know, and then we had time for cross-exam and all, and he's like, I refuse to submit to your draconian rules or something. I'm not asking you to submit to me. I'm asking you to submit your content for the debate. And
Like, send the questions.
He never wanted to do it in the first place.
There's a lesson here.
So the question was, he just a
nobody got time for
government
that
agent who was
No,
sent out
he's
to absorb
real.
your time?
No, he's in one of the local TSP Telegram groups. Like, there were guys that came out here and helped me with some work when my foot was fucked up early this year. And they're like, yeah, I met him. He doesn't talk very much. And I'm like, that's not really good for a debate.
There's a lesson here. Don't make
Don't
plans.
fuck with flat Earth people. Just
don't
leave
make
them
plans.
Don't fuck
Don't-
with
alone. Don't make
Jack.
plans.
Don't make plans with someone who's
Fucking
semi-retarded.
I got a blitz, ladies and gentlemen.
Me too.
All right. Yeah, we got to
I gotta go
Okay,
plant.
so it's our
Shit.
last episode. What should we do with our last thing?
I don't know. We should all sign. Like, we
Crazy.
should let them 2 sign off since they have to leave.
Yeah.
Something besides honking. Let's play
Yeah.
out.
John, talk to us about something and then say goodbye. And
What
then
you guys gonna ride this out for the next couple hours?
No.
We don't
No.
want it to end. We're just gonna keep on going. What if we, instead of doing the show every week, we just do one 12-hour show every year?
John Bush.
I just want to encourage everybody to get out of your head. Because when you're, I don't know, Tony Robbins says, when you're in your head, you're dead. And it's just like everybody just thinks and thinks and thinks, and why can't it work? And maybe I should do it this way, and plan and business plan and blah, blah, blah. And then they don't do things. So I think the most important thing is just to act and to do and to make shit happen now. Because I don't know, a lot of people that I consult, they feel like there's such an urgency that they're about to do something that maybe isn't the best thing to do, because they feel like I got to pull all my money out of all the banks and pull out my 401k and everything right now because the economy is going to collapse next week or whatever. The price of liberty is eternal vigilance. Our kids are going to inherit this struggle. Our grandkids are going to inherit the struggle. That being said, I don't want people not to act, but I think the important thing is to have a plan, come up with a methodical plan and start acting on it piece by piece, baby steps. Begin with the end in mind, and then put the pieces in place. So that's what I would leave folks with. It's been real. I appreciate it. I didn't know that we've been doing this for 2 years. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty good long run there. Not too shabby. And then I'd love to meet folks in person at the summit that we're doing. It's coming up May 13th to the 15th. We're going to have 500 people. Sold about 200 tickets or so. And I'm committed to making sure that there's 500. So I strongly encourage folks to join us. Jack and Nicole will be there. It's going to be one heck of an event. And then Jack's going to Float Fest, right? Are you going to Float Fest, Nicole?
I am not, because it's during
Brian's
my free
going.
workshop, which is sold out.
5,200 miles.
He was there. I got about some.
I was going to go, and then they moved the date, and I was sad.
Yeah, I've got Float, and then I've got 2 weeks later, I've got John's, and then I've got Nicole's a month after that.
Nice. Pork Fest is coming up too. Sasquatch Fest, when's that there?
May 20th through 22nd, Long Branch, Washington.
So you're coming down and then all the way back up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah, it's somebody's birthday. I got to get up for a 50th
The
birthday
Squatch
show.
Fest, does it have its own website, or is it on Food Forest Farms?
We are the squatchfest.com, it redirects you to a Food Forest Farms page, the Squatchfest page, right? And then there's the big old Telegraph link. You know, it tells you about the festival, shows you some little pictures, and has a Telegraph link. Everybody kind of hangs out over there. Oh my God. Okay. So, these cats are coming out. That guy's name is the Dude. So you've heard me talking about that half-mile track, and this is his girl, Sassy Squatch. And that's a bottle of white wine. So I think they are about to set the new track record for sure in that quad rail. So if you want to come out to Squatch and watch some maybe destruction or maybe just some fun,
Who's that?
there's going to be a big, huge, giant bonfire with. Let's see. So we got a blues bassist coming out, Richard Foreman, and actually last night I hooked up with this guy called Rhyme Wave. Go check out the Squatch site, the Squatch Fest. But yeah, Rhyme Wave is like a conscious rapper that's been playing a lot of shows all through COVID and like was organizing all the music people. So he said he's bringing his crew out. I have no idea who's coming because I'm not selling tickets this year. All you have to do to get there is ask me.
All the flat Earth people are going to come.
That's it. No, you have to ask me to come, and then I'm going to like talk to you and see if you're like a rational human. And if you pass the rational human test, you get invited. That's it.
Well, there's going to be like 3 people.
No. Oh, yeah. Oh, and a jazz history DJ that's going to spin in the afternoons when the sun shines all out and, you know, the chirpy chirpers. Yeah. It's going to be chill. Well, but sometimes it'll be like, so come out and see.
Party time.
All right, Neethi, you're making funny noises, by the way.
Is that her? Oh.
Well, everybody's breaking stuff down out here, so there's a bunch of noise going on.
I thought you started it.
And we have a real phone here at the food church.
It was totally her fucking phone that just went off.
Yeah, so like, who the fuck has a real phone?
He goes to a wall.
Neethi, talk to us and say goodbye.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say goodbye. Okay, I'll say goodbye.
It's so
Listen,
hard
guys. To say goodbye. Well, I hope everybody will follow me on my YouTube and, you know, just check in, sign up for our newsletter over there at farm2forkmeatriot.org. And so I can still keep in touch. I hope I'll get to meet a whole lot of folks. I'm trying to make it to the Self-Reliance Festival in Tennessee. I'm not doing too much stuff before my conference this year because I am creating all this other stuff. I'm in the middle of creation right now. So I'm missing out on a whole lot of fun, and I'm kind of sad about that, but I got to get it done. Get her done. You know, Jack, I'm hoping to make it to Texas this fall. I really missed it last year, and so I'd like to make it down there.
Cool.
So I hope everybody out there just continues to operate. Don't be afraid. I'm just going to keep saying that. And then just do things in the order of the next logical step. I mean, if you are worried about making the next step of whatever it is that you're doing, just be like, you know, ask yourself, is this the next logical step? Is there some step missing between now and there? And, you know, try to fill in the gaps that way. So I hope if that can be helpful to anybody out there. That's always been my kind of litmus test of, you know, like, do I need to go this far? Or, you know, I'm like, is that the next logical step or not? So anyway.
Awesome. Dowie.
What's up? Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm fucking tired today. But no one gives a shit. Just work harder. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like my whole life turned around when I realized that anytime an opportunity presents itself, just kick the fucking door down and do it. Bam. So that's it. I mean, if you tune your brain in to look for the right stuff all the time, you know, I wanted to be self-employed for a long time, and I just was always looking for the thing. I know a lot of people have trouble with that. Like, I want to work for myself, but I just can't figure out what. And it's like, if you just keep thinking about it, it's going to keep, you know, you're going to be tuned into it. When the opportunity presents itself, grab it, you know, and go from there, man. And I'm going to, we got 2 more people, but after this, I'm going to go microwave some hot dogs. So that's going to be a good time.
Oh my God. He's been waiting to do that.
Oh, you know, he's been
so fucking long.
He's
Oh,
waiting.
That's badass, ain't
He's
it?
back.
Yeah. Well,
He loves his little tech there.
That
with the
was
video
really nice,
sound
John.
thing.
Real nice.
just
well
want the-
done.
I just needed the boo, that fucking awful sound.
Well, for me, Unloose the Goose has had a special place in my heart because it freed me from the podcast notes. And I got a lot more comfortable with just live streaming over the last couple of years and able to just free form. And so from a personal growth standpoint, y'all challenged me and weren't afraid to call me on my bullshit when I had some bullshit, and I do have some bullshit like we all do. And I love that about it because most people are afraid to call you on your bullshit. And like, I'm holding up a little heart here. This heart is the last dog tag that my dog Sage had. And she was here when we started, and she passed in August. And she reminded me that life is super simple. Like, you want to have something to eat. You want to have somewhere comfortable to sleep. You want people who love you. You want to go have fun. And dogs know how to have some freaking fun. Like, they're the most joyous animal I know. And we tend to spin ourselves up worrying about what the agorist solution to fucking healthcare is, when the answer is a direct relationship with the person providing you, who knows more than you, providing you with some help when you're physically weak. And I've had some times of physical weakness, but we spin it up in our society like this big complex problem, and it ain't. It's super simple. Agorism's simple. Life is simple. Joy is simple. And all of it's a choice. None of it has to be complex. The people who want to control us try to make it hard. Then they try to make it complex. And the only way to simplify this back to a little pink heart, to that pure form, is to do it for yourself. And that means taking step 1, step 2, and step 3. And one foot in front of the other. And when people are making it hard, they're dead to me. And I go work with other people. That's it. That is agorism. If you're making it hard, I ain't working with you, and I'm moving on. And I hope when people think back and listen back to Unloose the Goose episodes, you take that away. The power to go make it simple. Because there are a lot of us out there who will support you in your quest for simple. Jack, I'm going to let you wrap it up.
Well, I just want to thank everybody that's here and everybody that's been part of this as co-hosts through the whole thing. Everybody that said yes. Some people were here a long time, some people a short time. I appreciate every bit of it, and thanks to everybody for that. And when I put out today that this would be the last one, there were some, everybody communicates with emojis today, and there were some little angry faces and stuff and sad faces and all. And I just point out, like, nobody in these little windows right now, or anybody that's been associated with ULG over the 2 years, we're not leaving. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to stop teaching. We're not going to stop doing stuff. We're not going to stop putting out content. We're just going back to doing it on, the way that we all were before we started this. We came together for a purpose. I think we achieved that purpose. We definitely inspired some projects and some things and some additional podcasts and all. And that was the real goal of it. And we're not gone. My final words of advice to everybody, Nicole mentioned health there. Man, if there's one thing you can do to get your shit together, get your health right. Get on a good diet, eat the right food, stop listening to Weight Watcher commercials or whatever other bullshit you're being told about being healthy. Every person, I think every person here is pretty much a meat-eating, keto-ish type person. I mean, personally, I looked at some pictures that popped up a couple days ago of me from like 6 years ago. Now, who's that old fat fucker, right? Like, I don't look like that guy at all anymore, and it makes everything easier. And if you struggle to get up out of bed in the morning, of course you struggle to accomplish the things that we're talking about. And I agree with what everybody else here said about getting things done. Just go do it. And if it doesn't work, do it again until it works. because, you know, John, I've got a shirt that says exactly what John Dowie's got there behind his head. Nobody cares, work hard. It's one of my favorite shirts because it's true. Nobody gives two fucks about your crybaby, whiny, nappy baby bullshit. Like, either you succeed or you fail. And that's when we talk about agorism, that's what we're all advocating for, right? Like, you get the rewards of your effort and you get the shit that goes with your failure. But if you're trying, people will help you when you fail. Every person here's had failures. God knows I have. Don't be afraid. Don't, you know, when I got people telling me they're afraid to withdraw their money from Coinbase and they want to talk about radically transforming the world and they're afraid to basically send themselves Bitcoin in a text message. You're not going to get there, guys. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to start taking a few risks, put some skin in the game, like others said. And thanks to everybody that's been part of this. And, you know, I thank the host first, but now I'm going to thank every single one of you that's in this live feed right now, everybody that's listening to this in the future, everybody that's tuned into us over the past 2 years. You know, we only did this once a week, and we didn't turn it into like a huge thing. But we've been, since we started, and we still are, we're a top 50 society and culture podcast on Apple. I mean, that's something right there. That's a big deal. There are tens of thousands of podcasts in that category. It's one of the biggest category there is. I know, because I battle to keep my podcast in the top 10 in there. To be a top 50 podcast, we just put this shit together and made it happen. We couldn't have done it without y'all. So thank you.
All right, everybody. That's been the last episode of Unloose the Goose. John, did you get to go already or no? Yeah, you did. Okay, good. Just making sure. That's been the last episode of Unloose the Goose, and Nicole is having short-term memory problems, apparently. I love you all. I love all of the former Geese. I love you, everybody on the show, and I love you, the listeners. Thank you so much for everything, and we'll see you if we fly south for the summer.